And hi again, everybody. It's rivalry week. Easy for you to say. And we're going to get right to two very important contests as we head to the final week of the regular season here. Wow, what a season it's been. Gene, we've had a few minor setbacks, you and I, along the way, but it's been pretty competitive and a lot of fun.
Absolutely. What a good week. What a good year for Pigskin picks. A lot of players and some really good games, ups and downs, streaks and slumps. But good to be here for Clemson against South Carolina, Alabama against Auburn, and a bunch of other good games.
Let me also just thank the good folks at Lee & Associates for, once again, a great sponsorship and a good relationship, and we appreciate their being with us for yet another year. All right, let's get to these two games that we're going to spend a moment with you about. Alabama, Auburn, my goodness, I mean, it's everything everybody wanted it to be for their showdown, and there's a lot hanging on the outcome.
I'll tell you, if you saw these two teams their last time out against real teams, Auburn against Georgia and Alabama against Mississippi State, and let's say you put like lime green uniforms on both of them and didn't know who they were, there is no doubt that Auburn looks like the better team right now. Kerryon Johnson running the football. He did not play against Clemson when Auburn lost at Death Valley 14-6. That offense is really humming. Kevin Steele's doing a good job with the defense. But Alabama, boy, until the king of the SEC is out, to me, it's hard to count him out. And Nick Saban has a lot of things to fix, starting with the linebackers. They've had a lot of injuries there, Warren, including Christian Miller, the son of Corey Miller, former Gamecock and NFL player, and they're struggling there tackling people, which is just something you don't say about Alabama. But again, until I see it, and this is huge stakes for Alabama, I think they're out of the playoff if Wisconsin keeps winning and they lose here. I got to pick Alabama in a real close one.
All right. You know, it's funny. I still don't know this point in the season how good Alabama really is. I mean, they keep doing everything they're supposed to do every week. But Auburn's defense gives me a little reason to think, especially playing at home, and it's just a 3-point difference in this game. I like the Tigers, so we'll go opposite there in that showdown. And I think you're right. If Alabama does lose, I don't think they get in. Now, there is another game that kind of encompasses the attention of our state a little bit. South Carolina, Clemson. Let me ask you this. Would it be a bigger upset for South Carolina to beat Clemson than it would be for Auburn to beat Alabama?
I think so, and you look just at the point spreads there, which, by the way, I think it's like 4 for Alabama. That thing, it could be closer. It could be a toss-up. It's 15 or 16 for Clemson. I'm stunned, Warren. I take pride and try to predict point spreads, and I thought this was going to be about 10, maybe 9 or 11, something like that. I'm not a gambling man more than a donut or something, but I think I'd take the Gamecocks and the points here. I think, that would be a pretty big upset, and what a feather in the cap of what Will Muschamp's trying to do there at South Carolina if they could pull off this one.
There's still an awful lot of bruised feelings about last year's, 56-7? And that's been a long year since that happened, with Clemson putting that on them. Nobody knew at this time a year ago Clemson was going to go on and win the national championship. They used that big victory there to springboard themselves into the playoffs. Usually everybody talks about the playoffs and they talk about the rivalries. I think the best team always wins this game. The better team, if you will, to be more grammatically correct. So I'm going with the Tigers. I think they've got still what it takes. They're better overall. I like them even in Columbia with that victory. So there you go. You okay with where we're going?
I think I'm going to go with Clemson. I think if you look at the way, you have to look at, like, who does Clemson most remind South Carolina of on the schedule, and it's got to be Georgia. I mean, you've got a team that's got a very good defense and can run the football. That's Clemson. And on the other side, who does South Carolina remind Clemson most of? It's probably NC State, a good quarterback with a good defensive line. Clemson won that game. South Carolina lost that game. I know it's in Columbia, but I think South Carolina is not quite there, and no shame. This is one of the best, most elite programs in the country. It will not be 56-7, but I think Clemson wins it.
Yeah, all right. So there you go. We appreciate your participation all year long. We've had terrific participation both online and also with watching our videos week to week. So we appreciate all that. And once more, we want to thank the good folks at Lee & Associates for their sponsorship. This is it. All right. Enjoy the postseason and all the bowls, and good luck to you and your teams, and thanks for watching.